I come with a 2x sword and forced to mash up the arena, mash up the arena, mash up the arena. I come with a 2x sword and forced to mash up the arena.
Yeah! What's happening? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome to episode 5 of Unique Sessions. This track is Me versus Me. We're almost at the end of this series. And as we go through this whole EP, as you can notice, it gets more energetic. Then it starts getting more, inner. And Me versus Me is me just sharing more of what I was going through in terms of how I was feeling, what I was seeing, the things I was going through. Me versus Me is one of them introspective tracks, if that's a word. I forget sometimes if something's a word, but it makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you if it's not a word. Introspective tracks.
This noise to the silence so that you can hear. Yeah, it's just me versus me. Man, it's just me versus me. It's just me versus devil doesn't stand a chance. It's just me versus.
That I just really wanted to share more of what I was going through about, things, when loads of things happen to you, loads of things are happening to you, no matter where you turn in every aspect of your life, things are going wrong, things are just going wrong, and nothing's going right. You can't see the right in anything at all, and your mind starts getting clouded with distractions, confusion. You have questions, maybe even bad feelings like frustration, anxiety, fear, anger. All these were in me. I was dealing with it because of everything that was happening. We had friendships falling apart. I had issues happening at my church. I had issues happening in my personal life, in my career. I mean, even the music side of things. I'm not going to sit and lie to you. There are tough times. A lot of people talk about their successes, but no one ever talks about them hard times, man. There's some cold days. I'll be real with you. There's some cold and frustrating days. But yeah, the life of a dedicated musician, man. And nothing was going right. And it was getting to the point where for a time, I realized that I wasn't as strong as I thought I was. Because prior to that, a lot of things happened, but I was able to deal with it. I firmed it, kept it in my stride, and just kept it moving. But I realized I was reaching the point of my strength, which was when things got hotter and hotter for me. To the point where I realized where my end was in terms of how much I could deal with. I could no longer carry things anymore. I could no longer deal with things by myself. I tried to do that. That's always a big mistake, to be honest. Trying to deal with the whole of life by yourself is, no, don't do that. Yeah, I was just trying to deal with a lot of things happening in my life by myself, and nothing was going right, to be honest. And this song just talks more about just where my mind was. I mean, we blame all sorts of things around us sometimes instead of checking ourselves. We blame all sorts of things, and sometimes it's important to look back at you and see if you're also contributing to the problem. Because when a situation happens, you can either deal with it or let it take over you, or take you over. Wow, my grammar's not on point today, is it? But yeah, that was it. That was it, man. My mind was really clouded. Things were happening, and all I could do was focus on my problems, which made it worse because I started saying negative things to myself, like, oh man, nothing's working out. This whole thing's a flop. You know, when you're saying things, yes, it's the truth, but you're feeding it yourself. You're feeding it back into yourself. And I was becoming my own enemy in a way because I was discouraging myself instead of trying to work with myself. Another Interpol line, work with yourself. Instead of trying to work with myself and actually do something worth doing. And that's what I was doing. Instead of trying to be proactive, instead of trying to think ahead, instead of trying to plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I wasn't planning nothing. It was hard for me to think. I wasn't even trying to look to people who could help me for help. I was just really wallowing in my own mess. And I became my own enemy in that situation because I could have helped myself. I could have done something to get myself, a bit further out. But I was so caught up, I was so in my feelings, my own thoughts, my fears, my anxiety, my stress, my frustrations, that it all just got peak. And that's where the title Me versus Me comes from, because it's really about me versus me being my own enemy. Once again, the track is right below the vid. Have a listen. Hope it does something for you. Hope it helps you in dark times, because you're not alone in this, man. Everyone goes through something. This song's there to remind you. My name's Unique Creation. Have a good one. Talk soon.
Noise to the silence so that you can hear. Yeah, it's just me versus me. Man, it's just me versus me. Yeah.
It's just me versus devil, doesn't stand a chance. It's just me versus